Good morning, Warrior Nation, and welcome back. It is 2019, and seniors, guess what? June's going to be right around the corner. So we want to make sure that everybody's taking care of business in the first-class way that you do all the time. It was great seeing you guys coming in this morning in the Commons, everywhere else. We're all here to, again, welcome you back, and it's really great to get started again because I know I was getting bored, and I know everybody up here was getting bored over the past 2 weeks. We needed you guys. So with that, we're going to go over some announcements. We're going to go through some things that you guys really need to know because we have a few changes coming up, and we want to make sure everybody's on board. So with that, Mrs. Brown, what do we have?
So first and foremost, guys, we want to talk about the hot topic of scheduling. We know that when you get back from this semester, you take a look at your schedule, and sometimes we have questions, issues, or concerns that come up, and I just want to make sure that I try to answer some of those questions for you now. So hopefully you accessed your schedule on Student 360, and you were able to see your class periods 1 through 7. You may notice that you have different teachers, your classes are in a different order. That is something that will need to stay the way that it is. I know we get in routines and sometimes we want to flip things back to what they used to be, but your schedule should stay the way that it is. So please refrain from emailing your counselor about things like moving your class periods or wanting a different teacher. Good life skills come from meeting new people, developing a stronger support system by getting to know more adults in the building. So those schedules will stay the way that they are. However, if you are in the wrong class, let's say that you've already passed Algebra 1, 2, and that's what your schedule says, and you should be in Algebra 2, 4. That is absolutely something to contact your counselor about. So if you're in the wrong course, make sure that you send your counselor an email. Don't show up to the CSC today unless you don't have a schedule at all, it's completely blank, or you're missing a class period altogether. So if you don't have a 4th period class, then you should head to the CSC specifically during 4th period so that they can take care of it at that time. Just remember that counselors are super busy with new enrollments and balancing classes and getting people where they need to be, so they will get to you as soon as they possibly can. I promise they haven't forgotten about you. It might take a little longer than you'd like, but they will get that done. There is something else on your schedule that Mr. Dingman's going to talk about. It might be your favorite time of the day. Mr. Dingman, can you tell us a little bit about lunches?
Absolutely. Guys and girls, remember that we have 3 different lunch times during 5th period. If you have A, B, or C on your 5th period schedule, that means you eat in the East cafeteria. If you have D, E, or F on your lunch schedule, that means you eat in the West cafeteria. That's next to the Freshman Academy office. The East cafeteria is right there by the Commons. Make sure you are in that cafeteria during your assigned time. We only get 1 lunch time. You get a half-an-hour lunch and that's it. You don't get an extended lunch. 5th period is a class time. Make sure you're in the right place. We'll start handing out the lunch cards here later on so we can check and make sure that you guys are in the right lunch. When you guys are in the cafeteria, come on in. I know you guys will be wanting to figure out where your friends are, who's got which lunch and all that today. So when you come in, just make sure you find your spot, jump up, get in line, grab your food, head back to your table, sit down, enjoy your lunch with your friends. We ask that you're not up wandering around the cafeterias while we're in there. It's treated like a classroom. You need to be in a seat. We don't need to crowd up at the doors to leave early. The bell's going to ring. Everyone will get out. Just make sure that we're orderly in there, that we're respectful of one another. Don't cut people in line. Be polite to our cafeteria workers, and just come in and enjoy your downtime for that half an hour. But make sure you're in the right lunch. So make sure you check out your 5th period. Look for that A, B, or C. That puts you in the East cafeteria right off the Commons. D, E, and F is in the West cafeteria next to the Freshman Academy. Dr. Rogers, why is it so important to be in class?
That's a great thing, Mr. Dingman. Good morning. Welcome back. Yeah, it's attendance is something we talk about all the time, but attendance in class is critical. It's important, and not only is it, you're not going to graduate high school if you're not in class every day, every period. So please make sure that that's like the first goal you're setting for yourselves this new year. And a resolution, maybe it's a New Year's resolution, but you've got to go to class every period, every day. I can't stress that enough. That is number one thing that's going to make you successful here at Warren Central Walker Career Centers. You got to go to class. It's critical. If you're not in class, you're not learning, and we need you here to learn. We need you here to be successful. So you know, just look at your schedule. Know the 7 classes that you're going to each and every day. There's not a executive lunch period like Mr. Dingman talked about. You don't get to take 7th period off every other day. So make sure that you're in all 7 of those classes every single day. And if you're a senior, you know, if you're looking at maybe a waiver option, you know, attendance is factored into that. So, you know, don't think that you can just slide through this last semester and not go to class and maybe still think about a waiver. That's not going to happen. So attendance every day, so important. You know, most people in the world, they have a job they have to go to every single day. So the employability skill here is go to work every day. You guys got to go to class every day. So isn't that right, Mr. Shepler?
Dr. Rogers, couldn't agree with you more, and I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit, talking about our tardy policy, and it's going to be a new tardy policy. Again, like Dr. Rogers was saying, we definitely need you in class. Your parents, your guardians, they send you here for an education. We have 50 minutes of class time each period. That's not a lot, and it goes by very quickly. When we talk about our tardy policy, we want to make sure that all kids, all students are in class on time before that bell rings. Not 5 minutes, not 4 minutes, not 3 minutes, not 10 minutes after the bell rings. You have to be in class before that bell rings. And if you are not, we want to make sure that you are picked up by one of our student supervisors, one of our resource officers, one of our administrators, also possibly department chairs. We are going to be all out and about. It's basically a hall sweep every passing period because, again, it is that important. When Dr. Rogers was talking about employability skills, that's number one that they ask about. You know, are the kids here and are they on time? If so, they can work with you. And so that's what we need to instill in each and every one of us to make sure that we are in class on time, ready to go. Because again, 50 minutes, it goes by very, very quickly. So with that, I want to make sure, again, you guys understand, starting right now, everybody has 0 absences who are here and 0 tardies who are here in class. So again, make sure that you continue that, and we will do everything we can to make sure that you're successful in that way as well. Anything else with that? Do we have?
We just want to make sure that we let students know that the tardy policy will start next Monday on the 14th. And so this week is your opportunity to find your classes, find your routine, get that shortest route to class down, figure out the times in the day that you can make it to your locker. There might be some periods that you do have time to stop and talk with your friends for a little while, run to the restroom to make sure that you're not late. But just to be clear, this is a new tardy policy from last semester. So there is no longer a 5-minute cushion. You need to be in class by the time the bell stops ringing each period. Additionally, we are changing up the way that we're handling passes for the exact same reason. We think that you being in class is one of the most important things that can happen in this building. So, Mr. Dingman, can you talk a little bit about the new pass policy?
Absolutely. And before I mention that, I want to mention to our student drivers or any car riders, make sure you are here and in class by 7:20. That first period, we have tons of tardies. You stand out in the commons and just watch student after student come in to be checked in, and you're just wasting your educational time by the 5 extra minutes of sleep or whatever. Know your routines, get here on time. If your parents are bringing you in, say, hey, we gotta move a little quicker, I gotta get there because we need you in class for your education. On passes, yeah, in the past we have given you guys last semester they were green cards, they were front and back, and you would sign, teachers would sign the date, the time, where you were going. We're not handing those out this semester. We're putting that control back into your classroom teacher's hands to give passes. So, when I was in the classroom, I would only give 2 passes per 9 weeks or 2 passes a semester. and keep track of that. So it's up to your teachers to give you the pass. To sign it out is a legitimate pass. Are you going to the restroom? Do you need to go to the nurse? Is it a bookstore thing that you need to go down and get a parking pass, or you need to get a school supply? That's where you need to be communicating with your teachers. The teachers will be writing out the pass, the hall pass on the actual hall pass, not on Post-it notes, but on a hall pass, to give you a couple minutes to get to where you need to be and get back to class. You don't need to be hanging out in the hallways. There's no education that goes on in the hallways. It all is in the classroom. So get to where you need to be, get back, get your education. Dr. Rogers, anything else that you want to add?
No, I think just in general, it's really important that you guys are in class, right? It's what we're all talking about. It's just really important, and keep that in mind as you keep focused on doing well in your class. You got to be there. Got to be there.
Absolutely.
So with that, I know we have a couple more announcements, but before we go to that, teachers, make sure that you cover these new tardy policies and procedures, not only today, but the remainder of this week, because like Ms. Brown said, it's going to start next Monday. We want everybody to make sure that they have no questions whatsoever, because again, it's that important. So what do we have announcement-wise, Ms. Brown?
Well, we want you to know that the men's track and field team is having their call-out meeting after school this Thursday in room A315. Anyone who's interested in being a member of the team should attend. If you're currently involved in a winter sport, you can either pick up materials before the meeting, or you can find a time to talk to Coach Smith in room G223.
And attention, all actors and drama club members, auditions for the spring play Rumors by Neil Simon will be this Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. in the PAC Studio Theater. Nothing will need to be prepared. Cold readings and monologues will be provided at the audition. Rumors is a 1980s comedy play, so come on out if you think you have the comic timing that's needed to put on a great production.
So with that, I know that last year, 2018, was probably the most I will say, it was the most successful school year in the history of Indiana, truly. And we are all looking forward to an even better 2019 with the leadership that we have from the senior class, the upperclassmen, and the freshmen coming in have done a wonderful job jumping on board, and sophomores taking the lead as well. We are really looking forward to all the great things that are coming for 2019. So with that, we are here to welcome you back. Again, have any questions at all, making sure that you're asking your teachers, your administrators, your cohort offices, because we're all in this together, and we are so glad that you are here today. So with that, welcome back, and looking forward to another great semester. Thank you.